Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Boop, I Love You, Chapter 4, and this one is titled, Can't Keep Away. You sat down on the grass in the backyard and waited to catch your breath, pulling up images in your mind from the interactions you'd had with Shinsou. Oh my god, he's so amazing. He's kind, gentle, and he's really, really cute. You thought as you squeezed your eyes shut and grinned from ear to ear, doing a happy little closed-fisted arm flail and foot stomp. And he called me cute! After waiting a while, you hopped up and turned back into cat form, jumping back up onto the brick wall and heading back to where you'd dropped your bag. And then he looked deep into my eyes and I nearly passed out, you squealed to your friend the next day at school as you were sitting down to eat lunch. So you're happy now? You got your head pat, didn't you? She asked. You looked at her. Well, yeah, I guess. You're lying, she laughed. Yeah, okay, I am. So sue me. Damn it, I want to see him again, you wailed pitifully. You can, your friend replied nonchalantly with a shrug. You know some of his rude homes, so just meet him on the way home and spend a bit of time with him each day. Easy. It's not weird? You asked. Well, no, because he thinks you're a cat. He doesn't know you're a human shape-shifting into a cat, so you can see him each day, she said with a laugh. Well, I'm going to see him today anyway because reasons, and that's all that really matters, you said solemnly. Any excuses will do, huh? She chuckled with a smirk. That afternoon, you ran ahead to where you had met Shinsou the other day and hid in an alleyway nearby. Okay, now I just gotta wait until he comes and then I can transform. You sat down on the ground and pulled your phone out, flicking the camera onto selfie. You poked it out from around the corner of the building and watched the screen while you waited. It wasn't long before you saw him walking quietly along with his hands in his pockets, and you quickly pulled your phone back and put it in your bag before pushing it behind a nearby bin. Okay, my time to shine, you thought as you activated your quirk, transforming into a pretty white kitty and heading out from the alley. Shinsou smiled when he saw you coming and crouched down. You trotted happily towards him with tail in the air, meowing softly as you neared him. Hey cutie, he said tenderly with a smile as you came within reach and booped your nose against his fingers before rubbing the side of your face against them. I was wondering if I'd see you again today, he said as he continued to smile at you. Ooh, looks like I've already got him under my spell, you thought with a giggle. Do you live around here? Shinsou asked as he continued to pat whatever part of you he could reach. I asked you that yesterday, but you took off on me. You ignored his question and walked a little closer to him, hesitantly rubbing your head on his knee. He chuckled and scratched behind your soft white ears. I really love cats, but I don't have any, he said slightly sadly. It's just me at home. I wish I could keep you. You looked up into his sad, tired eyes and your heart melted. Oh, this poor guy is all alone. He needs company. He continued to look down at you softly and scratched under your chin. Well, I guess this'll do, seeing you. I hope I get to see you every day. Maybe tomorrow I'll bring you some. But the tingle in your nose cut his sentence short as you turned and bolted away. You tore back down the alley that you had hidden in human form and jumped the back fence, disappearing into another connecting back alley, and there, behind a dumpster, you shapeshifted back into human. Ugh, classy, nothing like shapeshifting behind a bin. Shinsou had been caught off guard by your sudden disappearance and remained crouched in the middle of the street for a few more seconds, disappointed that your meeting had been so short. He sighed and stood up, continuing on his way. As he passed the alley that you had disappeared down, he threw a hopeful glance down into the darkness, hoping to see you again, but you'd disappeared. When he didn't see you, his face fell, and he walked on to his lonely apartment. Meanwhile, you had recovered slightly and stood up from behind the dumpster, walking over to the wall before turning back into your cat form, then springing up and over and dropping down on the other side. You turned back into human and walked over to your bag, picking it up and checking that the coast was clear before stepping out onto the street and heading for home. I really like Shinsou, but my quirk doesn't last very long. I wish there was a way I could extend it so I could have a little bit more time with him. The next day you waited in the same alley and popped out in cat form just like you'd done yesterday, trotting happily towards him. He smiled when he saw you and crouched down to give you a scratch and a pat when you'd gotten close enough to him. Hey, you kind of took off on me yesterday, but I was saying I'd bring you something, he said as he swung his bag off his back and unzipped it. You looked up into the bag curiously, a smell catching your attention. You sniffed and wrinkled your nose. Ooh, something smells bad. Here, he said proudly, pulling out a packet of dried sardines. "These are for you." He opened the packet and pulled one out. "Ew, what the frick?" you hissed, arching up and stepping back from him. "You don't like them?" he asked sadly. "Oh, sorry. I thought you might have liked them." You looked up at him with an apologetic look on your face, but there was no way in hell that you were going to eat them. He saw the look on your face and smiled slightly. "You're something else, you know that? It's almost as if you feel sorry for hurting my feelings," he said with a little chuckle. "Ah, crap. I'm giving too much away," you thought. You looked away from him to hide any more emotions showing. "Oh, well," he said as he packed the dried sardines away. "Guess I'll try something else tomorrow. Will I get to see you again?" You were still looking away, but without thinking you almost nodded, managing to stop yourself just in time. "Kids, you're in frickin' cat form. Do not nod your head, you dumbass. You'll freak him out, and then you'll blow your cover." Just then your nose started to tingle, and you took off running, not even bothering to look back at him. And there you have it, Chapter 4. Stay tuned for Chapter 5 coming tomorrow. See you then.